प्रेम से बोले शिव शंकर भगवान की, आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम. Once more, my humble namaskar, pranam, Sitaram to each and every one of you. On behalf of myself and the executive members of this beautiful Mandir, I want to welcome each and every one of you to be here with myself for the first time. And for those of you who don't know, it's our 4th annual Gyaan Satsangh and our 2nd annual Multi-Gun Havan. Anybody remember? Today is Friday evening, Pandit. There's a lot of things that happen Friday evening. But I'm not here for that purpose, my friends. But before I proceed with Katha, I want to welcome a few people. And those are, I must say, welcome to our dear Panditji Mehta, Panditji Dino, who was with me from the beginning in 2022. Tonight, I want to say a special welcome to Pandit Devo, who is the officiating Pandit for this Mandir. Pandit Arun, who is no stranger to me. We just began a relationship last year at the People Tree Mandir. I must say special welcome to our Mataji here. When she heard about me, she came one time, and I didn't expect she will come back. But she is here. So that tells us we are doing good. Nari Pandita do good. We are doing good. Gyaan Satsang is our Satsang. Tonight, as we begin our first night, this beautiful Mandir has been selected. And you might wonder to know who, but the Divine Shakti, the Divine. As with the permission to come here, because he knows the needs for Gyaan, for knowledge. Today, this evening, I want to tell you, Gyaan Satsang has become so common now everywhere. And I want to say once more, from now on, it will be Pandit Ramdat annual Gyaan Satsang. Don't get scared when you see my name in front. Remember, I'm telling you tonight, it's our Satsang. I can't put all of you Satsang. And I'm here to represent each and every one of you. Do you get that by now? If there's any Pandits, I know there's a young Pandit here. You're Pandit? No? When I see the bead, it tells me something. So maybe I can encourage him to do that as well. There's nothing to lose, but there's sacrifice he had to make. Lovely devotees, I want to say a special welcome to Mataji Mala from Sri Radhe Govinda Mandir. And I mentioned many times for devotees who come along with me from New York. And she just looked at me when that day will come. And tonight it is with the blessings of Bhagwan. If there's anybody I did not acknowledge, my humble apology, because I am not good in talking names. I just messed up. So bear with me tonight. For all of you, once more for being in Satsang, I want to commend you on this Friday evening. Like I said, it's a very difficult evening to come out of the house. Do you know why? Well, you don't know why. I will tell you our time. It is called Gyaan, and Friday afternoon will be something. Pandit Dino, you know, you want to tell them? Or let me tell them, we will give time just now. They just call it Pia this day, and they just drop pay. And any Mandir do puja or havan on a Friday evening, only woman has got. Tonight, give a round of applause for all the men who come out to Gyaan Satsang. And as you're here, all of you, there is nothing to lose but to gain, my friends. Tonight, Katha take us to a very great Purana, and for the first time, I include in Gyaan Satsang. Can anyone give a guess? I'll see who listens to my advertisement that we put up. Can you give a guess what text we will be touching on tonight? Well, no pressure, I'm here to help you. We're about to listen to Katha from the Agni Puran. Tonight we choose to do Havan Puja dedicated to Agni Devata. And lovely devotees, Bhagwan took many forms. The divine goddess took many forms, Rupam Devi, Jayam Devi. And why she took these forms is for you and I. Is to teach us lesson, but how many people learn by listening? I'm the only one. How many people learn by listening? Well, I know the answer. All of you learn only when you feel. That's why God just give people problem. For you and I to learn when we are not getting, it says, my friends, to keep close to Bhagwan, there's two ways of learning. Listen and learn. People that stay a long time, if you're not here, you have to feel. Some people have to feel to learn. Before I take you to Katha, a beautiful manifestation of Bhagwan Vishnu. I want you to Google it because you have technology. It is okay to use your phone to do good things in the Mandir when the Pandit tell you. But don't text anybody tonight. You're not hiding from me, but I'll know when you're on the phone. It is okay to do your research, my friends, because we are blessed with knowledge in our hands. But how much people utilize that little piece of device to educate themselves dharmically? They look at something called, I don't know. Anybody knows? Well, you just look on the phone. Don't say it hard. Tonight, Pandit will tell you to look at your phone and find out the first manifestation of Bhagwan Vishnu. That is our Katha about tonight. As we commence, join with me as we commence with our beautiful Kirtan dedicated to Bhagwan Hari Shri Krishna. Radhe Govinda Gopala Jaya Govinda Radhe Gopala. Radhe Govinda Gopala, Jaya Radhe Govinda Gopala. Taking tonight from chapter 2 Agni Puran, Agni Devata, the fire god, narrate the fascinating story of the first avatar of Lord Vishnu. Anybody have the answer? No internet connection, right? I didn't get it. You know how much people be upset with me? Pandit, we ready, we dressed up, and we stood down and wait for the satsang. What happened? Black hole. Things just happen for a good reason. But God knows that many people will not come, and we didn't have the connection set up tonight. God is the knower of everything. It says, the Matsya avatar, of which Bhagavan Vishnu's first manifestation, the Katha tells us about that fish form. Anybody knows or don't know? Do you know that Bhagavan Vishnu took a form of a fish? You look at me like Ravan. I have 10 heads. You don't know. Thank God for Gyaan Satsangh. What you're going to know tonight. The purpose and the reason, because every manifestation tells us or teaches you and I a lesson. Lovely devotees, it takes us straight to the Katha for tonight. Agni Puran. Ram Govinda Hare, Ram Govinda Hare, Ram Govinda Hare, Ram Govinda राजा सत्यव्रत नदी के किरणे पवित्र अनुष्ठान करने वाले थे भगवान सीता को अर्पित करने के लिए नदी जल भारत समेत रातों से उनके हाथ में एक छोटी मछली आ It says once there was this king by the name of Satyavrat, and he was performing a sacred ceremony in the river. Before I explain further, is there any sacred ceremony in this day and age of Kali Yuga? You don't know? Well, I'll ask you this one, you'll know. Is there any sacred ceremony in Gyaan? Tonight it becomes sacred because we are all a part of our annual multi-moon Havan. For you who present tonight, we're able to have it at that moment. But loving devotees, it says, the river or the water play a great role in our life. And many people have misinterpreted Ganga Puja. And for those of you who are following Gyaan Satsangh, we had a 3-night by Wind Roadside Mandir where we stopped on a beautiful Ganga Murti. And everyone learned of her puja. But I want to explain tonight. Her puja cannot do any and everywhere, but only one place. Where? By the the water or the ocean. Lovely devotees, this king was performing a sacred ritual. And there are many kinds of ritual. We pray to the devas, we pray to our ancestors. Well, now, God bless you, there are more work than those. He was performing a special puja by the river. What he did, my friends, he dipped his palm, his hand into the water, and he is about to make offerings to a special devata that you and I are supposed to worship every Sunday. I have learned, if you don't ask question, we will never learn. But I will ask the question for you. Who is that devata? You don't know, right? It says, my friends, to Lord Surya Dev, Bhagwan Surya. And accidentally, by dipping the water, it says, Choti, a very little fish entered in his palm. My question tonight, when last you offer a jal to Surya Bhagwan? Don't lie here in Satsangh. Very good. Give her a big round of applause. Let me compliment people while they are alive. Now when they're dead and lie down, you talk good about them. I'll ask you the second question. When last you went to the ocean, to the riverside? Don't tell me Easter Monday, because all of you will get licked tonight. When last you went to the beach for a good purpose? Answer the question now. I know what I just go for. I go to perform or officiate Ganga Puja. When last you go to the beach to make offerings? If you don't, it's about time to change our activity. And when we go to the beach, we must respect the ocean. Because if one day the ocean rises, nobody ever bring thought to this. But I will tell you now, because this is the importance of Gyaan Satsangh. If the ocean rise not accidentally, but purposely, all of you will die. COVID save you, but you cannot save from it. You will drown. Do you know? Because we are living below the sea. I'm not a teacher, but a teacher teach me that in school. You know it? So you and I should go and pray to the ocean and say, hey mom, at no point in time you should get upset, because if that tide rise, you washed out the entire beautiful Guyana. No matter how nice the road is or how nice the house is, in less than a split second. It is about time for you and I, well, I'm teaching you tonight to open your eyes and pay respect to the ocean, to the water. And as he dipped that fish, my friends, Satyavat was ready to release the jal to Surya Bhagwan, and that fish began a conversation. The fish made a request that, O king, can you take me to your palace? Because living in the ocean as a small fish, it is very, very dangerous. And by taking me to your palace, I have a chance to live. You know what the Gata teaches you and I? We are that tiny fish when you try to do the good things in this day and age of Kali. And who will save you and I? Can somebody answer the question? It's your Bhagwan. Have faith and trust and believe in your God. My friends, this is the request. And what happened? It says, the ocean is so big. Can you take me to your palace? Because definitely, O king, I know I'll be safe. There are some people, even though they have richness or wealth or whatever, they know that or have the feelings that doing certain things might be wrong. But in their mind, when they have requests, they want to show that person that I can do it. And lovely devotees, similarly, this king have that thought in his mind that the fish says that I have confidence in you to save me, O king. Satyavrat, listen my friends. I want to ask you here, is there any one of you have a fish in your home? I didn't ask if you have the fish in your belly, you know. Is there any one of you have the fish in your home? Any little fish in your home? Very good. Give our dear Behenji a big round of applause. But one will not come like you and I always remember. But one will come in any and everything. Even though in a non-moving object God resides. Because nourishing Day took that form to teach you and I that God is here, there, and everywhere, wherever His name is called. Lovely devotees, there are some people who love to have pet, and they have a little fish, and taking care of them, feed that fish. It is a blessing, I must say. Some people are against it. It is wrong when you have an animal and when you don't take care of it. It's a sin. But if you have an animal and pet plays a great role, pet, it means you love that animal and you will make sure you clean that animal, feed, and make sure you give them the luxury life. Any one of you ever buy a cell phone for the animal? They can't use it, right? Lovely devotees, it says the fish convinced Satyavrat that his palace is safer than the ocean and he can accommodate a very tiny fish. What the king did, the Kata tells us, is listen. Anand Keshava Mudalidhara Satyavrat felt very sorry for the little fish. And you know what he did? He took that fish to his kingdom, to his palace. Upon reaching there, he made sure in his mind that he will do everything to keep this fish alive. And what he did, he took the tiny fish and put it in a very small bowl to swim around with water. Because he think to himself that putting water in this container, it is enough for this fish to survive. The king was happy and satisfied, my friends, that he was able to do a very little good for not a human being, but a fish. Do you know it is good when you do good for people when they don't remember it? Anybody else? But nowadays there are some people that do good for people remember it, and not that alone, but to talk about it, to advertise it. When you do good with good intention, not to get back from your good, because karma plays a great role. What you and I do today, we are making preparation for our next janam. You will not enjoy it today, but God will answer our prayers. So he felt to himself, my friends, that he did a very wonderful thing for this little tiny fish, and went to bed happy that night. The next morning, Satyavrat wake up, and he went right away. As he woke up in his mind, he went right away to make sure the fish is still alive, to check upon that little fish. Do you know what happened? God does teach us in many ways. The Bible tells us he was surprised to see that little fish grow overnight, big enough than the container, and the fish could not able to move in that little bowl or the container. Have you ever get something that grows so fast? Baygan, malanji, ali, potato, the backyard is still planting thing outside. Out when they have a concrete of the yard with some nice hammock and we rock. It says now, seeing this, a thought came to his mind. But before I tell you what happened, my friends, how many people take care of animals? I'm not asking you about the one that you have in your home as a pet, but in Guyana here, there's animals everywhere you go. Sometime at our Gyaan Satsangh, not accidentally but purposely, God has visited us, God has walked in our Satsangh. Take us back, memory lane 2022. Every and anywhere we go, we see animals. When you see an animal, what comes to your mind? Nobody not talking tonight? Don't tell me you fall asleep, When you see an animal on the road, what comes to your mind? Is there any one of you ever felt sorry for the animal? That they don't have a roof over their head? When the rain falls, well, you don't have snow here, heavy storm rain. Have you ever give thought, wonder, when those animals is going through, where they will get shelter? Sometimes those animals come to your home and you beat them and put them out. But they did not do anything but just come for something, my friends. Lovely devotees, it says, as this little fish grow enough to fill the entire bowl, the Katha tells us what becomes of this as you listen. Gopala Radha Lola Murli Lola Nandalala एक भजन कीर्ता से हरि हरि हो गए do. But if you don't know, I will actually question. If it was you, what you will do to continue to save that fish? Anybody? Mataji said, take it back to the ocean. Very good. Give her a big round of applause over there. Put it in a bigger container or a bowl. You see, once we follow, we will learn. It says, the fish now, the king, not everybody does think properly when they have problem. So, the fish now notice that this king is panicking. Like some people when they have trouble, and they don't know what to do. And this king is looking all over the house like they go crazy. And no thought is coming to their mind. But the fish says, or make a request, can you put me in a bigger vessel? But God does hold our hands sometime, and especially when you are a devotee of God, telling you in your dreams, in your imagination, be careful of such and such. Do such and such. The fish now says, put me in a bigger vessel, and I will be able to survive. Satyavrat agreed, and immediately he transferred that fish into a larger vessel. And having that fish in a bigger vessel, he added more water, because that is what the fish need to survive. But you know what the fish need to survive, what you and I need to have to survive. Nobody ever gave thought to this one. What do you need to survive? Anybody? Water? When I get my cup, you get ready. We share the same equal. This side gotta get some cup now. Too much going in my right hand side. What do you need to survive? Very good. You see, Bhagwan give them an opportunity. Give them a big round of applause. Air, oxygen. Some people think if they don't eat, they can survive. But God bless you with that knowledge. There are some people who just fast without food for many days and they can survive. But nobody have give thought, what if there's no oxygen? How would I be able to breathe? COVID taught us that lesson if you don't know. Bhagwan came as COVID to teach you and I. Without this prana or breath, nothing is valuable in our life. You have an internet service by home. This one they not reach yet, they don't have one here yet. By next year, if they do permit me to come back, maybe we will add some dish around and get some signal. Anybody have internet service home? For you to get the internet, you have to pay a bill of fee. Good. You have lights home, long time you light it on. How much people remember Lakshmi Karo to Kalyanam? You light the lamp, wipe the lamp, shave the newspaper, and light it to get light. They go to school, they learn, but they get bright light. How much people educate? They get certificate, but how much people educated? That is the question. And for you to get the light, you have to get or pay the electric bill. Some people just complain about the bill, they get wrong. But they just forget and just use the current, But have you ever get a bill for the prana, that oxygen that you and I are breathing? Have you ever get that bill in your mail? No. It says you will get it when it will be taken from you at the end of your lifespan. And how you will pay it, Bhagwan will say to you and I, that as you have this prana, what could you do? What are something that you do to motivate the world or someone in your life that you get in contact with? What changes you have built in the community or service or the house or wherever, or the family, wherever you have been? But we are living in Kali Yuga where there is drama, conflict, When people do good, nobody talk about it, only at the funeral day. But when they do bad, they post it up, they don't talk about it alone. Loving devotees, it's about time for us to understand that this prana is important just like the water for the fish. It says now, as he transferred this little fish into a bigger vessel, pour more water, he went back to sleep, because sleep is important as well in our life. He went back to sleep, and as he woke up the next morning, similarly, he went to check on the fish. And when he went, my friends, do you know what happened? Or you want me to tell you? You should have some clue, because this is a very simple katha. The fish outgrow the container, that vessel as well, become big. You know what this teaches you and I? When you have a problem in front of you, always remember that our Bhagwan is bigger than our problem. Not everybody see that, you know. Some people take little problem and they make it big. And some people get so much problem, they don't know how to categorize it. They just blah, 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 blah. They feel like if they come tell me and you, the problem will fix, but they're creating more problem. I will tell you, when they come tell me, they are not creating problem, don't get me wrong. Because, as a guru, it says, when someone have problem, is to teach them how to get out of trouble. So, you can be a guru as well. You don't need to sit on an asana and dress up in sari or dhoti. When you live life, what you learn, go around and teach others. But when I talk, they don't listen. Well, you know the other way. If they're not here, they go. But you do your duty in telling them and move on. Lovely devotees, it says now, the fish requests the king to move him to a bigger place so that it can survive. And Satyavrat immediately ordered his servant, because he alone can't fetch the fish, becomes so big. Ordered his servant to take the fish to a pond in his yard, the kingdom. Is there anybody have bathing pool in your backyard? Or your yard? A long time, everybody has have a little pool in their backyard. You might ask me how I know. I born and grow here. I know many things that you don't even know. Or what you know, you forget where you came from. And I'm here to remember you, my friends. There was a time that majority home, they have a pond in the backyard. And you know the purpose or how that pond originates? Is by the digging the dirt from the pond and they fill the house up. Anybody remember that time? I see a lot of people shaking their head like this, and especially the old people. And you might look at me, how do you know this? We had a pond too when we were growing up, and we did the same. Lovely devotees and friends. So he had this pool, this pond in his kingdom for whatever purpose, ordered his servant to take this fish. And lovely devotees, it says similarly, the next morning, Satyavrat was shocked to see that fish outgrow the size of the pond as well. Do you know where the Katha is taking us tonight? It's taking us for us to understand the lesson of this Katha. What will Satyavrat do? Agni Devata narrate to sage Manu as we listen. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Go Keshava Madhava Hari Hari At this time, the king transferred the fish to the largest lake. But unfortunately, in no time, that fish outgrew the lake as well. Satyavrat had no other option but to take back the fish where? To where it came from, to the ocean. You and I came into this world and we have to go back where we came from as well. How many people prepare for death? Not yet. Well, it's about time to prepare. Prepare how, Pandit? Start to do good things. Begin to do good karma. That is how you prepare for death. Lovely devotees, it says to take back this fish from where it came from. What happened? Satyavrat had no option but to take it back to the ocean. Similarly, we should place ourselves where we value most. I'll repeat. Similarly, we should understand that not every and anywhere we should place ourselves for name or fame, but where our services has been valued. Tonight, I want to tell you and bring an example. I drink all the water, sorry. Just imagine I have a bottle of water in my hand tonight. In New York, we have something called a deli, like a little snack kit, you call it here. They will sell this bottle of water for $1. The same brand, same water, nothing changed. But if you take this water now and put it at the airport, like last night when I was coming, when I thirsty, if I should go and buy a bottle of water, it costs $4. And lastly, this same bottle of water, same brand, if you take this water, especially now, summertime, Mataji, I will advise you, when you go back to America, ask your pig dealer and carry it to Disney and you will know the answer. To a park where you take your children to have a good time, because when the day is hot, you have no choice but try to get water. And there's a limitation to take them into the park. You cannot take too much because they will not have sale. Do you know how much this costs at Disney World? $8. So what this Dekata teaches you and I, my friends, is we all be that person, that human being. I don't know what you call yourself, but we should be a human being. And a good human being, a devotee of God. And wherever we choose to place ourselves, we must be valued. Not every and anywhere. But some people, as they were everywhere, was soup there and there. I hope non-soup drinker is here tonight, because you will be in some trouble. My friends, tonight I want to demonstrate something, and like Gyaan Satsangh comes every year, it is about time you don't know what to be prepared for. Something new with the blessings of God. Permit me to do. But before we demonstrate, it's our Satsangh. I need a volunteer from the crowd. Is there any one of you willing to come forward with me here tonight? See? That speaks a lot. In this day and age of Kali, there is no volunteer. But I will tell you this now. If you choose to come, no pressure. I will tell you what you have to do because I'm a Pandit. And if Pandit tell you how to do the puja, you have any pressure, you do puja. You just have a pressure kit by your side? No. Because you have confidence in the Pandit, that the Pandit will not embarrass you or make your heart rate go up or any pressure. And I promise you, I will not do that to the person tonight because that person plays a great role in our katha to help me and demonstrate what I'm about to teach you. But I want to tell you this now. For that person who come forward, I will pay you to volunteer. No joke, put it aside. Someone from the crowd, get up and come. Come forward, please. One person only. The first come or pay will get the payment. I don't lie, I'll pay you tonight in front of everybody here. Any one of you, come on, no pressure. I only look serious, but I don't eat people, I'm vegetarian. Well, I must tell you this, it's supposed, every Pandit's supposed to be a vegetarian, I don't eat people. Come closer. Anybody? You're getting paid tonight just for 2 minutes of your time. Very good. Give me a big round of applause. Alright, so we are about to begin. Mira will go in front of there and I'll give her something in her hand. Mira, can you go in front there? Show them what you have. Show them around like this, open it. With your two hands. Turn it upside down, stand up with your head. There you go. What Mira have in her hand? $1 US. So, if we look physically in her hand, it looks decent, is not so? It looks kind of new, nice. Not that great or excellent because you went through many people's hands. But I will ask Mira now to do something with the dollar. Mira, can you take that dollar and crumble it like when your mommy make you upset? Crumble it like this. Or somebody make you upset. Very good. Give her a big round of applause. Can you open back the dollar and show them? Show everybody. What's she holding in the hand? $1. The dollar did not change, but the appearance changed. Isn't that so? You get a little rusty now. Mira, lastly, I know dollar can't do all this, but you can be one favor more. You 2 made it up. But one favor more. Can you put some dust on the dollar? Take some agarbatti dust and put it on the dollar. Rub it up nice, like when last year rub on Shiva. Show them now. Hold it up and show them. Mira, dust up the dollar. What's she holding in her hand? Same money and it carry the same value. It will go to the deli and buy a bottle of water. But it will not go to the airport or the park because it's not enough. But whatever your value is, my friends, always remember in the eyes of God, people will kick you and throw dirt on you, and however in this society that we live, you and I go through it. But we still remain that person in the eyes of Bhagwan, that $1. Give her a big round of applause. That belongs to you. So at no point in time, when people point fingers at you, your value goes down. But it helps you to grow, my friends. So tonight, the king apologized to this fish that despite he has so much richness and he is a king, he could not manage to go further in saving him. And as he placed the fish into the ocean, what happened? That fish grew beyond the eyes of Satyavrat. Very, very huge, my friends. And now Satyavrat realized something. What he realized? He realized that this fish is no ordinary fish, but the appearance of Bhagwan. Have you ever have animal come or something come and you feel like this thing look extra special? Right. Bhagwan comes in many and various ways. Loving devotees, it says, Bhagwan teaches us a lesson that he is extraordinary. But my question, how much of you or how many people treat the word of Bhagwan extraordinary? Gyaan. Bhagwan is extraordinary, but when it comes to his work, his puja, how much people treat his work extraordinary? Tonight you make sacrifice to be here. Some people close their Mandir who have service to come here. I want to commend you because this is what called sacrifice, because you think and you know to yourself that God is extraordinary. So you put some extra effort to be here to learn tonight, my friends. Satyavrat bowed to that fish and apologized one more because he could not keep his promise. How much people keep their promise? Pandit will come to the Satsangh and Pandit will look this side to that side. The next thing, Gyaan will see you work with the computer. They never show up. But wherever they are, Bhagwan bless them. They broke their promise, but we have thought about them. Loving devotees, we do them a favor. So it says now, he knew to himself he could not keep the promise. And he began to offer prayers and request the fish to reveal the motive behind this story. And immediately, that Matsya form of Bhagwan Vishnu took the real form of Bhagwan Hari and speak to him. What it says, God tells us, Hari 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 Smarana Karo. 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 Hari Satyavrat, that queen. And loving devotees and friends, it says, at the lotus-like feet of Bhagwan, it is recommended for us to do or give seva, daan kare or charity. In this day and age of Kali, what kind of seva recommended or important? What kind of daan can we give to have the blessings of Bhagwan? Well, I will not ask much question tonight, but I will tell you, because we have 70 nights more to go and we have places to be. And we don't want to tire ourselves for the first night. But I will tell you, it says now, when someone comes and asks you for money, Pandit or whoever, can you give me, they don't tell you, can you give me a little change or can you give me something? They name that money, not the dollar or US dollar, a bigger number. Can you give me 10, 20, 30, 100, 1,000, 500? They name the figure. First thing you want to know what that person will do with the money. And based on the appearance, you know already. They will go and they will buy something to drink or either what? Well, they come and ask you, can you give me the money so I can buy something to eat? With the blessings of knowledge, if they want the money, you know the purpose. You take the money and buy something and give them to you. Why we have Gyaan Satsang is for you to have an opportunity to cook with your hands. Nobody tell you a menu to cook. Bear in mind, it is your choice. For something for you to learn, if you cannot afford Gyaan Satsang, go around and ask in the village when I come back next year. We are doing Gyaan Satsang at X, Y, and Z Mandir. I'm here to teach you how to make it affordable. And let somebody give you some rice, some aloo, some dal, and whatever, and put that thing into a menu and tell them, come to the Satsang as well. Because even though if they don't come, they are part of the Satsang. Because the purpose of the Satsang, when you have the Gyaan, the knowledge, you will be partaking in Bhojan. So now you know how to make this Satsang affordable. I know that will be up and you will have a lot of Satsang as well. It is okay for me to tell you how to make it because we are growing smaller, not bigger like the fish. And it's about time to tell you, my friends, for us to continue to grow as one dharmic family. It says, Bhagavan Vishnu blessed Satyavrat and told him now the story beyond this. It says, O great king, in 7 days there will be a huge destruction in the form of flood, which will submerge the entire earth and kill almost all its creation. Bhagavan Vishnu instructed Satyavrat that go and invite or call the Sapta Rishi, the 7th sage, and you all come together. Not like how we live today, you pull some people so and pull them so. Come together and gather sample of herbs. When we do puja, patram pushpam phalam. Patram is leaf. We have our tulsi or bale patra. They are forms of herbs. Has been instructed to grab samples of herbs, sample of seeds, because from seeds we can have plants. And all forms of life, all forms of sample that will repopulate earth again after the destruction. Because he have the Sapta Rishi, people with knowledge, to go around and look that when everything destroyed, you will keep this. So that there will be a new beginning and start to recreate a new universe. We heard the last time the world judged, he judged with water. And I'm telling you now, this time when he got judged with fire. Well, something similarly in our Katha. It's about to wipe out the creation with flood, with water. So whoever will say that, God bless them, they know the scripture a little bit. Give them a big round of applause. Many of you did not talk because you say that is superstitious belief. When it comes to puja as well, some people say, I don't believe this and believe that. Well, everybody is superstitious, right? That term. In America, there is a number they're scared of. And the number is number 13. Do you know or you don't know? But if you don't know, I'm here to tell you, because that is what I bring for you from America. Ali Abdul the grapes, it can melt out, they eat too much. So I bring this to tell you something about North America. Number 13, many people scared of that number. It says when superstitions rule the lives of people, they are afraid to go out on Friday the 13th. Have you ever heard that? You don't know? Anybody watch horror movie? Friday the 13th, they're scared. Is there some, when they build the hotels, when you go into the elevator, if you're going to look for number 13th floor, there is no number 13 in the elevator. And now, everybody who will visit America will go and do research now. Because many times you see these things and you won't pay mind to it. So after they have number 12, you have number 14th floor. But I want to tell you, number 14th floor is number 13. But it's scared to tell people that it's number 13th floor. Logically, there is no space between, there's a floor, hold it up. It's number 13th floor. Flying in a plane. In North America, we go many places with plane. There are some people now, when they book their flight, they don't want to sit in row 13. Satish is looking at me now. Yonita is looking at me now. Mataji, everybody who visits North America. They're scared of that number 13. In their mind they think, a storm will come, struck the plane into two halves, only 13 row, take out the 13th seat, the plane will come back together, all who was sitting in 13th seat die, Ram Nam Satyahai, and the plane fly safely. That is the kind of world we live in. But Bikata tells us tonight to have our faith and confidence in Bhagwan. Loving devotees, the moral is to do not allow superstitions to control your mind, because it will control your lives. There's a remedy old people used to do long time. And some of them is true, and some of them is not true. But although it is not true, it teaches you and I a lesson to pay respect, to be scared of certain things, because not every and anything is good to do. And that is how we had a society back then, different from now. They invent those things, it's not life, but to scare you and I, to gain respect, my friends. And that is why back in time we have a different time than now. Bhagwan Vishnu promised Satyavrat that he will send a boat to save them, the Saptarishi himself, with all the sample. Because this is the instruction of God. Like I mentioned earlier, just like that, God will instruct you and I what to do. And what they did, the king took it upon himself, the order of Bhagwan Hari, Bhagwan Vishnu, and begin the work, the words gathering everything, and listen to what happened. The Katha tells us. Vidana Hari Vidana. It says, after 7 days, a huge cloud appeared in all directions. And it began to pour, my friends, and the land and the seas. A huge wave from the ocean flowed to the land. Like I mentioned earlier, you never give thought that ocean can rise and flood the entire Gyaan. It says the entire earth has been flooded with water. A little after, Satyavrat and the Sapta Rishi, the seventh sage, saw a boat was floating towards them. Like when God gives us instruction, it never fail. As that boat is approaching them closer, it says they all went into that boat with their belonging, with the instruction of Bhagwan Hari. When the time comes for you to leave this world, what will you take with you? Anybody? What is it? I don't hear well, I get it more. Can you say loudly? When you're about to go where you come from, like the fish, what do you take back with you, my friends? Well, some people know, many times I mentioned this. For a long time when you travel, you take 2 bags, they allow you 2 bags in the plane. But now you gotta pay for the bag. Things get worse now. Soon you might not pay for carrying 2 bags, 2 bags, 1, 2 more, I must say. 2 bags in your hand, one with the good karma and one with the bad karma. Lovely devotees, always remember, you pointing fingers, this is mine, that is mine. Can you put it in that bag? People are fighting for an inch of land. People are fighting for, this is, why? Because they think to themselves that it will add values to their life. But if you don't know this, I'm here to tell you. People are fighting as well, not in Guyana alone, but every part of the world for the house of God, for Mandir. Give them a big round of applause. I didn't expect you to applaud for that one. They didn't do good at all. Why do you fight for God's house? A Mandir must be a Madhya long ago. You know how long this Mandir was here? And many people might know how I know it and how. Well, I'm now here to tell you my story, not Bhagwan's story. And I'm not here to listen to anybody's story, but to tell stories of God. That is what we instructed to do. It says in every village had a Madhya, and that has been built by our foreparents. Today, this become that one, and this one, and that one. My question, are you going to carry the Madhya with you? It belongs to God. This body belongs to Bhagwan. The prana belongs to Bhagwan. The money that you work belongs to God. Why do you fight for it, my friends? It is about time to utilize the wealth. Welcome people to your home. Atiki Deva Baba. Welcome the animal. Bring them come from the street. Take the food that you throw in the garbage. Feed it to we just feed the dog and fowl. Now you have dogs, donkey. Well, I will tell you this one. When I brought my daughter last year for the first time in Guyana, not first time when she gets sends them to see things, like you and I. He mentioned to myself and the mother that I think the donkey is cute. Give her a big round of applause. She thinks good about the donkey, But some people think the donkey has been sent by Bhagwan for us to beat them and abuse them, let them work for us to become rich. It is a good thing to take the donkey to work, but with respect. Let us take the donkey to help in the farm, right, Auntie Doris? You don't beat them. When they want to go, you go. Like just like how when you want to go home, nobody beat you to come. Have feelings. They have feelings like you and I. Feed the animal. Don't throw any food in the garbage. Well, I have news for you tonight. That same food that you're throwing away in the garbage, and sometimes you take that you cannot eat, a day will come when you have to come back into the world and consume that food from the garbage. You don't see that yet? You don't see that yet? In this day and age of Kali, although America is, I don't know if the richest country, but people pay respect that money apart from tree there. There's some people that pick out from the cans and eat from it. It's because when in the previous birth, our scripture never goes wrong because they used to throw any food when they cannot eat it. Give someone, oh people not eat juta food, the dog will eat the juta food, don't worry. The birds, the animal, feed it to them. Don't throw away food because food is whole. Pay respect to the food. Old people says when you eat, you're not supposed to talk and carry on conversation. Nowadays, you look out by the story on the phone while you eat. Instead of to have the nutrients, you're consuming all the bad energy, the cursing and whatever they were talk there. And then you wanted to know when the doctor said, oh, your pressure high, your sugar leaves, and you're eating the food but not getting the energy because you're not paying respect to the food. Hinduism teaches us to sit down, stand near our food, and eat it with our hands. Not to hold one hand with the food and eat with the spoon. Hold the plate or the leaf when you go to eat and stand, you have two hands to eat the food, not one on the food and one to put the food in the mouth. No scripture teaches us. That's something somebody see and they start to do. God bless us with hands and feet for many purposes, but use it for what have been getting for. It says this form of the fish of Bhagwan Hari, he went back into that form now and also seek the help of someone else. No matter who you are, like I mentioned, we have these two brothers here with me. I'm not the only one to build Gyaan Satsangh, our chorus, our drummer, you name it. They know themselves. I'm not here to compliment them. That I did many times. We've done that katha. But I will tell you, to build something, we have to join hands together. Bhagwan Hari says and teaches the world that that fish will not help this situation alone, but asks for the help of someone else. Bhagwan Vishnu in that fish form asks for the help of a snake, a serpent. Is there any snake anyone here tonight? You see somebody scratching so I thought they raise their hand. Is there any snake in the Mandir tonight? I hope you're a good snake and a bad one. Because Bhagwan Shankar have a snake on his neck, and that snake is in the Mandir as well. And that snake, before I tell you the name of the snake, what is the name of that snake? Anybody knows? It says in our scripture, Vasuki. It says that Matsya form of Bhagwan Vishnu, that fish form, asks for the help of Vasuki, the snake of Lord Shiva. And the Katha tells us what is going to happen tonight. Listen. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Om, Hari Om. Well, I'll tell you, in America, when you go to the movie, while you're watching the movie, your mom has walked the two popcorn. Imagine tonight we're doing popcorn here, listening to Kahani, the movie of Bhagwan. As you're listening, my friends, let's go to this work. Let your mind think about God, because God is extraordinary. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Says Vasuki tied itself to the boat and held on to the fish. And with the help of Vasuki and the fish, they pulled that boat across the water of destruction. And while doing so, my friends, it says, for countless dark days and nights covered the entire world, they wander across the stormy ocean and waiting for the water to subside. It says everything comes, but just for a moment. So they sustain that boat, they keep that boat, they kept it floating. Who is in it? Satyavrat, Sapta Rishi, the 7 rishis in the Buddha. And they have some great values. What they have? Samples to create a new universe with the instruction of Bhagavan. Now, with devotees, it says during their journey now, Bhagavan did not leave them alone. There are some people when they get problem, God leave them alone. And there are some people when they have problem, God stands by their side. So now you know how and why I say, is either you listen and learn, or you feel and learn. The one who listen and learn is when you have God by your side. And for those who don't listen, God will not be by themselves, but you will have to feel. That's why we have problems when you pray. People say, do you walk good? Don't blame the walk. Something wrong with you. Make you having trouble. It is time to fix the problem. It says, now Bhagavan Vishnu stood there for that entire time of their difficult moment. And he narrated the Vedas to the Sapta Rishi. Tonight you have come to listen to Katha for an hour and 50 minutes. Only some people are engaged and some are not. But imagine the whole Vedas has been narrated. That was a long time. And he kept hold on to the boat to save what? Creation with the instruction of Bhagavan. It says then everything, the water subsided. Everything dried and there was land, but there was nothing. And what happened, my friends? It says now it's about time to welcome a new beginning, a new yoke, a new age. That's why we have Satyuga. What else we have? After Satyuga? Treta, Dwapar, and what is that? Kali Yuga. When anything go wrong, blame it upon Kali Yuga na. Pandit Kali Yuga, no? Kali Yuga is our action. Because action speaks louder than words. Says a new age begin. And as we are about to conclude Katha, I have my final question. I finished before 8:50. And thank God for that. Because I will have some more to share in our 17 sessions to come. My final question before you go back home tonight. When last you went to a 7-day and 7-night yajna? Mataji say you don't see that. So if you don't see that and you don't find out, how you go for that? So I want to make a request. Next year when I come back for Gyaan Satsangh, instead of going to all the temple, remember we are trending, Instead of going to all the temple, I want you to spread this message, which I will join as well. That all the temple will come together, we will choose a place, and we can able to hold a 7 days and 7 night yajna. Do you think that can be possible? Can you say it louder? It would not be possible with me alone. If I come with the katan, dress up with the dhoti and the kurta, flying here and nobody, I have to pack up and go back home. So I give you that opportunity now. And it's not full year, couple months short, because this is July. And in a blink of an eye, it's going to be April. I'll post the date soon when I schedule because I have life too, I alone have life. I have temple to not run, they don't go anywhere. My temple don't go anywhere. I have temple to officiate, I have yajman to do puja for. So when I get everything, my priority right, this is priority too. But this takes a lot of sacrifice. And with your help, when we start to grow, we can have a venue for 7 days and 7 nights. So that I can sit down and explain the importance of that kind of yajna. Because I think it's dying. Because people don't know the value. One person said that they cannot afford it. I'm going to tell you, I will not take that answer. We can afford it. And how we can afford it? If the food is the most expensive things, we will go beg for grains and we'll cook it and feed. Whoever people come, this will tell you if 10, 12 come, we will feed them. This satsang is not about crowd who come, we are here to learn. So you think that's an objective that we can work towards, a goal? Well, it's not about me. I give it to you with the instruction of Bhagwan. If you want that, start to speak to the members of the Mandir as I am going to take you for 17 nights more. Come along with us. And we will talk together as we move. And we'll plan this so we can sail through in that boat of Bhagwan Vishnu to understand 7 nights and 7 days. Yeah. Lovely devotees, tonight, why we don't have that? You should get it by now, because you blame what? The age. Listen. Nirupama guna sadhana charana niraj jaganayana Tonight Dara. A new age begin, my friends. Tonight, I want to commend our members of this Mandir to give us an opportunity to come here with Gyaan Satsangh. And tomorrow we'll move on to the number 47 Mandir, which a beautiful story will teach us about love and lust. There's two differences. That katha is coming from the Mahabharata. Same time, not same channel, same place, but a different place. Make the sacrifice and travel, because that is the purpose of Gyaan Satsangh. By doing so, is to make us build a relationship as one dharmic family. That is our goals and objectives. Lovely devotees, many times you and I go to places and we sitting and we jump into conclusion. Anybody ever done that? They see something and say, Adab, what am I supposed to do or what I'm trying to do. Now I want to share a story before you go back. It is okay, some of you can laugh if you want. I'm not good in telling jokes, but you can pick to that person next to you if you want. It says once, there was this guy, he was on a lunch break and he went to the post office. And while going there, he went to do his business because he had nothing else to mail but what? Where else do to get the electricity? The internet? To mail bills. That is his purpose of going to the post office. Sometimes people go places for purpose, but they drift and do something else with a slip of the mind. It says now when he get in there, he saw a middle-aged, bald-headed person by the corner of a counter. And he was curious to see what he is doing there. And he saw this man was carefully peeling off stamps, love stamps. In US they have stamps with pictures. You get name it, Bob Marley, or they put them picture in there. Statue. Now they have Diwali stamps. Give them a big round of applause. In US they have Diwali stamps. So he was peeling off love stamps. And where he was putting it, a 9 ballad, on the letter. He was placing it carefully on a stack of letters. So now seeing this, he noticed something more. The letters, the envelope of those that he's placing the stamp was at a specific color, which is pink. And when you see pink, what comes to your mind? Well, that was back in time. Lovely devotees, it says now, he noticed now, the bald man took a perfume out of his pocket. And like when you do puja, he's spraying perfume on all the letters and let them smell nice. How much of you does make your parsad smell nice? Well, I will tell you how your parsad will smell nice. You don't go spray perfume in it because that is chemical. The old way of offering prasad, it is a must for your prasad to be cut into pieces and offered. Because when it's whole, you don't get the scent of the fruits. Do you know the purpose why we offer fruits to Bhagwan? That's why long ago I know there's a Pandit instruct the Yajman to bring all the watermelon and the muskmelon, and while they're cutting it there, you mount water leak. Ay Pandit, Uncle Dino? Uncle Tita? Good. And you smell that thing all over. The food now smells so high because then it's cooked with less garlic back in time. And onion and thing. The Haribo will tell you why they don't cook with onion and why we are drifting in this direction. So they're cutting their fruits, he's smelling it all over the place. And how they're cutting it, they're putting it in leaves, and they're offering to the feet of Bhagwan. That is how he puts scent in the prasad. It says, now seeing this, he's spraying all the envelopes, everything, all over sweet smell. And loving devotees, this guy was in a hurry, and he went to the Baldhead man with a huge stack of envelopes. And he says, what is the need or the purpose of this? Because he had an intention in his mind. You have an intention in your mind as well. Who is sending those letters to? Let us see who is getting it right tonight. Who is this bald man sending a pink envelope with love stamp sprayed with perfume to? Who? You don't know? Oh my God. You have a clue though where it's going. Lovely devotees, similarly, this man, he had in his mind an impatient, and he was curious. He walked up to the bald-headed man and asked him, sir, who are you sending these to? And the man's response was, I'm sending out 1,000, not 100, 1,000 of letters, which is Valentine's card. Have you ever sent a Valentine's card to your lover? Some people forget when the birthday, when the anniversary. But one best means of memory, I know everybody birthday who keep close to me. And if you want me to remember your birthday, don't keep far. Keep coming to me and you will know. Loving devotees, it says the man mentioned 1,000 Valentine cards in these pink envelope and signed, guess who? The guy asks, guess who? Who is the person? He asks, who? The bald-headed man says, I am a divorced liar. What you had in your mind? You think he had 1,000 wives, right? You think, right? The man is doing his business as well. So tonight, wherever you go to do your business, then I say, mind your own business. Say it loudly, mind your own business. And then here, mind your own business. So by tomorrow, everybody will mind their own business and we're going to Gyaan Satsangh. Forget about other people's business. So that brings us to the end of Katha. Tonight, like I mentioned, before I hand over this microphone to our chairperson, what new is coming for Gyaan Satsangh? Something new, trending, not with the instruction of Bhagwan, and I will not mention name because it's not permitted to. And not yet, I must say, it's because of people like you, it's like people like you who bring this suggestion because they see improvement, they see their room to grow like that fish. And they come up with ideas. And that is what I will respect you all for. In joining hands with me, not me alone to be a guru, but all of us to be our own guru, to make Gyaan Satsangh a better one next year. This is 2025. If we have the life to have a better one. Tonight, I want to ask for one of the representatives of this Mandir to come forward. I'm going to do the last dollar I have in my pocket. I'm not going to pay you now, so don't come with that intention like a whole group of treasurer, secretary, president, vice president. One of you. Come on, you have to go home. It's 5 minutes after the Katha time. I'm a member of this Mandir or an executive member. Please come forward. I have something for you tonight for this Mandir. Tonight, I want to present for the first time on this certification of appreciation to our first Mandir. Can you read the Mandir loudly to them? What is the name of the Mandir?
Durga Mandir.
And they participate in our second annual Multi Hawankul and our 4th year of Gyaan Satsangh. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you all once again on behalf of my group to afford us to come here to this beautiful Mandir. And as we continue to grow, like I said, with the instruction of Bhagwan, there's new things coming as well, which will be trending. So at this point in time, without any hesitation, I'll hand over back to our chairperson. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Narayan Bhagwan ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki.
Andaji, I can assure you tonight, each and every one of us have learned something new. And if you have learned something new, you're truly blessed. Let's hear you say, Hara Hara Mahadev. We now have the different pandits that are present here today. We'll call on Pandit Devo to give a few words. Pandit Dino.